Welcome back to Formula One Race, folks. I'm sure you've all been following the roller coaster of a season. I mean, you clicked on this video. The season with Mercedes and Ferrari constantly battling out on the track is something else. But today, we're here to talk about a seismic shift in the world of Ferrari, a blow that has sent shockwaves throughout the paddock. Mercedes may have initially dominated the headlines with their underwhelming performances, but believe me, Ferrari's struggles have been even more pronounced. Just when they thought they were gaining some momentum with a strong weekend in Baku, fate dealt them a cruel hand, stuck between Alpine and the battle for second place in the Constructors Championship. This is not where the prancing horse wants to be competing. The legendary team, known for their winning heritage and iconic red machines, have found themselves in a perplexing situation. Today, we dive into the heart of this matter, the enigmatic SF23. What exactly is happening with Ferrari's latest creation, and why are they unable to make significant progress? Join me as we embark on an investigative journey to uncover the truth behind Ferrari's struggles. The story begins back in the previous season, when Ferrari started with remarkable speed, leading the pack in the initial races and establishing themselves as clear favorites for both championships. However, things quickly went downhill. The team faced difficulties in developing the car, and a regulation amendment closed the loophole that they had been exploiting. Despite Toto Wolff suggesting that Red Bull was bending the rules regarding skid block wear, it was Ferrari that felt the greatest impact from this regulation change. If you didn't know, the skid block in question had a mechanism that allowed it to retract when the car bottomed out, reducing wear, safeguarding it, and ensuring compliance with the FIA's wear test that designed to prevent cars from excessively scraping the track surface. Since then, Ferrari has struggled to regain their competitive edge and has attempted to emulate Mercedes and essentially the whole world's grid strategy of copying the dominant bulls. As part of their upgrade introduced at the Spanish Grand Prix, the Italian team abandoned their bathtub-style side pod design used since the beginning of 2022, and instead, they adopted a downwash solution reminiscent of Red Bull's approach, aimed at altering the airflow's interaction with the car's floor. Ferrari appears to have changed the side pods in response to their difficulties this season, matching Red Bull's performance. The driver coach emphasizes that the choice to make such a significant change was the outcome of extensive work at the factory. Instead of merely copying Red Bull's ideas, Ferrari sought to increase the SF23's performance and improve the new design based on its potential to bring about significant aerodynamic improvements. Similar to Mercedes' new side pods, it's clear that Red Bull was the inspiration for Ferrari's concept. However, the impact on Ferrari's car has not been as great as it has been for the W14. Mercedes' notable finish in Monaco and Spain following the installation of their new side pods demonstrated their progress, and it pleased the drivers. Ferrari, especially with regard to their driver, Charles Leclerc, cannot be said to be in the same situation. Leclerc expressed his disappointment over Ferrari's ongoing difficulties in maximizing the performance of their Formula One car. Leclerc finished 11th at the Spanish Grand Prix, even though he was 19th at the start and had to start from the pit lane. Monegasque appeared to suffer from a lack of rear-end grip, with his car visibly twitchy during qualifying. After his disappointing qualifying session, Ferrari made changes to the back of his car. During the race, Leclerc tried to get ahead by starting on hard tires, but he had to make an unplanned pit stop on lap 17 because the car didn't do that well on that compound. Leclerc was honest about how frustrated he was, saying that he didn't understand why the team had made mistakes, but something was definitely wrong. He switched from the first hard tire to the second hard tire in the final stint, and the car behaved in a very different way. Leclerc stressed how important it was to figure out what was wrong with it and fix that as soon as possible because Ferrari has been having trouble in recent races, whether it's because of difficult track conditions or an inconsistent car. Leclerc's teammate Carlos Sainz, on the other hand, had a better race. He finished 5th after qualifying 2nd, but he wasn't fast enough to beat the Mercedes drivers. Sainz kept a positive attitude and said that Ferrari is slowly learning important things about his car. He said that they have found their weaknesses and they know exactly where they're falling short. Sainz talked about how the team worked together and how committed they were to always getting better. He also said that Mercedes took a big step forward. He also said that the recent change they made to the car might not have been for the best for that track that they were on. The SF23 appears to have a constrained operating range, with the Spanish Grand Prix fluctuating track temperatures affecting them. The team is still baffled, and even after the race they hoped that the problem was one of their mechanical parts. Fred Vasseur, the boss of the team, said that they'd have to wait until the car got back into their Maranello factory. But it looks like they still haven't been able to figure out what went wrong. A report from Formula1.uno, a good source for Ferrari information, said nothing had been changed with the car and that there was no physical malfunctions. The report read, Charles Leclerc's car was inspected at Maranello without finding any significant physical breakdowns or malfunctions. It is likely that some setting betrayed the Monegasque in qualifying, then returned to place with a total reset of the setup in Perk Ferrum. We gotta admit that Ferrari's explanation of what went wrong is just complete trash. and they're just trying to cover up the fact that they don't have a clue what's wrong with the car. Which might mainly be because, they don't understand how the new upgrades work, or how, because the design just didn't go well with the rest of the car, whatever. However, for Ferrari fans, there was some good news after Canada last weekend, where we saw the team bring out a slightly more competitive car and string up a decent strategy. Which is a big step, considering their strategy calls have been dismal for the longest time now. We'll make sure to cover that in another video. Maybe this will be able to convince Leclerc to have some faith in the team after being let down for, 5+ years now? It also might be enough to ward off the advancing Alpines, who might soon be challenging Ferrari for their position. Speaking of Alpine, Formula 1 expert Peter Windsor recently speculated on a YouTube livestream that Leclerc could be eyeing on a move to the team. Leclerc's frustrations have sparked rumors about a potential departure from Ferrari. According to former Williams team manager Peter Windsor, there is a feasible possibility that Leclerc may consider taking his talent to Alpine. Windsor contends that Leclerc's desire to leave Ferrari is the result of his desire for a different environment and fresh changes. Not to mention the challenges. Joining a lesser team like Alpine could provide him with an opportunity to explore different possibilities and gain valuable experience. It's speculated that Alpine would be at the top of Leclerc's list if he were to make such a move. Leclerc has always shown a strong affinity for cars with his impressive speed, and Alpine, it's so hard to remember that it's not Alpine. Anyways, their developments this season have positioned them as a potential option for the talented Ferrari driver. However, there are factors that may reduce Leclerc's chances of breaking up the successful French duo of Esteban Ocon and Pierre Gasly at Alpine. Anyways, both Ocon and Gasly have been able to extract significant pace from the A523, and the team may be reluctant to split them up, especially considering Alpine's strong performance in the midfield battle. Nevertheless, Windsor's assertion that a step down from Ferrari to Alpine would not be a bad idea for Leclerc holds some weight. While winning a world championship may not be an immediate possibility at Alpine, achieving success with the team could put Leclerc on the path towards eventually securing that coveted title. Currently, Charles Leclerc and both drivers from the Alpine team have contracts that run to the conclusion of the 2024 Formula 1 season. If Leclerc decides to make a move in 2025, that'd be intriguing to see which Alpine drivers choose, who they retain, who they keep on the roster. Gasly, who's been striving to work his way back up the ranks since being demoted from Red Bull to AlphaTauri, could earn a promotion to one of the 4 teams leading if he maintains his impressive performances at Alpine. As for Ocon, he's performed admirably thus far, but he's yet to take that next leap and contend for a top-tier team. Ocon still has room to develop, despite having already shown signs of his potential with his recent podium finish in Monaco. Consequently, there is a possibility that one of Alpine's drivers could secure a place on a top 4 team within the next few seasons. Such a development would open up an opportunity for Leclerc to seamlessly slot into a competitive team and revitalize his career. Considering the potential rewards outweighing the risks, this could be an excellent chance for the talented Monegasque driver. All in all, Ferrari needs to put their troubles in order, or they risk losing a lot more than their pride. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below about what you think the future holds for Ferrari, you little oracle, you little cute prophet. As usual, a like and subscription will be greatly appreciated, and until next time, goodbye.